All right, what's going on, big dogs? So, conservative news outlet The Daily Wire released their very first try at an adult animated cartoon, so a Family Guy like, and it is titled Mr. Birchum. So, the show is about Mr. Birchum, who is your typical, very angry, mean shop teacher who basically acts like the shop is his own personal shed of tools and equipment. We have all had that shop teacher. That is what the show is about. And he just doesn't give a damn, that kind of stuff. He's edgy. Who? And on top of this, the school hires a new staff member who is just the polar opposite of Mr. Birchum. And I mean, just look at him. He is literally just supposed to be a stereotypical leftist, and that is it. But we'll talk about that later. So Mr. Birchum, who is this just blunt and out of touch guy who only likes the manliest of manly things, tries to basically figure out this new crazy world that he's involved in, you know, through his kids, learning things like that, life lessons. And on top of that, he has to be a family man as well, a dad, a father figure. Basically, this show is just supposed to be, and this is what it's also been compared to, a King of the Hill clone. But unfortunately, this show just absolutely sucks. So I just want to be 100% full transparency here. I am subscribed and follow the Daily Wire. I'm not going to talk politics on my channel. It's not something I want to do. I've done it before on the channel, and it doesn't feel right. I don't like shoving my political opinions in people's faces. I don't want to talk about them. I'm never going to talk about them. I don't want to talk about them on stream. I don't want to talk about them here. None of that stuff. All right. I want people to be able to, you know, come home at the end of the day and just watch my video and be entertained or learn something or whatever the hell I post or rant about that day. I don't want to like force my political ideology on anyone else. So I'm not going to get into it here. Obviously, that means I knew that this show was going to come out. I've known about it for a while, and the Daily Wire and all their staff, all their social media was nothing but pushing this Mr. Birchum show. And honestly, the way they talked about the show and the actors that they got, which they honestly had a star-studded cast. Obviously, you have Adam Carolla, who like came up with the idea. He had done some weird skits with it way back in the day, and I think he even had like a puppet in there at some point. Patrick Warburton, which was a weird one to me. I didn't know he would be part of a Daily Wire thing, but you know, cool, whatever. He's a great. I love him. He's funny as can be. Then they obviously have Brett Cooper, who is signed with them, and she's done acting in the past. I believe she was like a child actor at some point. Megyn Kelly, who is a conservative, of course, she's on the show. But Danny Trejo is really cool, and Rob Riggy are also, you know, notable actors in this, notable voice actors. And then Roseanne Barr is also on here. So they actually had what I would say is a pretty decent, you know, staff of voice actors there. So I was genuinely excited about it. I thought it, you know, did I think it was going to be the new South Park or the new Family Guy, like it was just going to blow up and have a 30 season run? No, but I thought, you know, maybe this is something I can just watch on the side or whatever. And then they also promoted it as it not being like this political show. Like they weren't going to, you know, push their agenda on you or anything like that. It was just supposed to be this show that was going to bring you back to the good old days of TV where nothing was really political and they just kind of took jabs at everybody and it was just funny and witty. That was the whole point. And all of that was just a fat, terrible lie. This show is just so bad. I honestly don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to start with my biggest complaint, I guess. First of all, I understand that almost every show nowadays, whether it's a movie or a piece of social media, all of it will have some political content in it for better or for worse. That is just how shit has been for the last few years. But I was really, really looking forward to a show that I could just watch without being preached to. And holy shit, is that, in my opinion, that is the worst part of the show. Everything in this show is politics all the damn time. There are only 3 episodes out right now at the time of me recording this, and I will never, ever watch another one unless this video gets like 10 million views and everyone's like, haha, watch the rest of it now. No way in hell, dude. It is so freaking terrible. Every shitty punchline or shitty topic, or even the way that the fucking wind blows sometimes, it seems all of it is just politics. All of it is just politics, politics, politics. There's no message at the end of the episode. I mean, they try to have one, but of course they make it like a political joke, or they're like, oh, here's the meaning of life. And then they like throw in a political joke and you just are like, all right, fuck you. This whole show just feels like a massive political talking point. And I watch their shows. Like, these are people that you would think I agree with most of the time. But dude, when I'm watching your stuff, I'm in the mood to listen to politics. I am not in the mood to listen to your shit 24/7, my guys. It's all terrible, and it's all just shitty one-liner jokes, and they're so cringe and just terrible. It just makes it like my head is spinning right now with anger. I am so frustrated at this show, dude. It is so bad. And now maybe I could get past a lot of the biased talking points, you know, maybe. It would be a tough sell to me. What I cannot get by is just how bad everything. It's just a shit sandwich, guys. It is just a shit sandwich. I know this is their very first show like this, but holy fuck. I could shit in my hands and clap, and I could write a better story doing that. Like, if I shit in my hands and clap and recorded it, it would be a better show. That right there would be a better show than what this is. Every episode far is nothing but a crappy punchline after a crappy punchline nonstop. I get it. It's a comedy. You don't have to tell shitty one-liners the whole time. Like, it's just a crappy, like, open mic stand-up the whole episode nonstop. It is not good. People get invested into characters, right? People get invested into what the character's becoming, what the character's going to do next, all that kind of stuff. And all of these characters are the exact same, except, oh, here's Mr. Birchum. Here's girl Mr. Birchum. Here's Mr. Birchum's daughter. Here's his slightly more woke son, who also has basically the same personality, because everyone's personality is whatever their shitty stereotype is. So if they're supposed to be the woke leftist of the show, that is their entire personality. They have nothing else going on, and they just make shitty one-liners about that. It is so freaking bad. And they just do it on repeat for the entire episode, nonstop. It sucks. Just to top it all off, like the icing on the cake, if you will. The animation is one thing that did surprise me, because I'm pretty sure a blind kid on an Etch-a-Sketch could do better. So many parts of the show just look unfinished. They look like they were rushed. They're ugly. The backgrounds don't match sometimes. The backgrounds look boring and plain and ugly a lot of the times. Shit just looks bad and dull. It's like they didn't even try with the animation. It's like they thought that everyone was just gonna laugh their ass off at conservative commentary comedy, and they were gonna rake in the money. And it's like, you didn't even try to make a show. You just tried to make, again, you just made like a crappy stand-up comedy. Like, that's all it is. It's so bad. This show right now, at the time of recording this, has a 27% approval rating and a 4.3 on IMDb, dude. It is not doing well. This shit is on life support already. But one thing I will say about the show, this show is exactly what Velma is. The only difference is Velma was an established title, and so a bunch more eyes got drawn to it. Like, I've seen a few people talk about this show, not a ton, but a lot more people talked about Velma because everyone knows this, like the Scooby-Doo lore, the timeline, whatever you want to call it, the iceberg. I know I've seen that on YouTube. The only real difference, other than, again, this being like an original show and Velma being an established title, at least through Scooby-Doo, these shows are just the opposite on the political spectrum. Everyone, including like left-leaning people on YouTube, were bashing the show because it was so bad. Even they were saying it's preachy, it's bad, it's terrible. The only people who enjoyed Velma were people who that was their entire life, that was their entire personality, was their political standings, and making sure that they knew all the correct talking points and what to say yes to and what to say no to. Those were the only people that like Velma, and those are the only people that are going to like this show. The only people that are going to watch this show and continue to watch it are people who all day they think about conspiracy theories, and they think about Trump, and they think about how the world is coming to an end because Biden is in the office, and all this stuff. That is their entire life. And those are the only people that will enjoy the show, because the whole show is just crappy conservative jokes the whole time, nonstop. So yeah, even as somebody who enjoys watching some of the Daily Wire's, podcasts or other little like small documentaries they've done or something like that, I cannot recommend that you stay as far away from the show as possible. It is dog water, my guys. But anyways, guys, that is all I got for you today. If you enjoy, remember, please leave a like, comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. We are super close to 500 subscribers, guys. So if you could, remember to please smack that subscribe button. It's totally free, and you can change your mind at any point. Also, we're extremely close to becoming affiliated over on Twitch as well. That link will be down below, so if you guys could come check me out over there, leave me a follow, come in, say hi, chat it up. I'm always chatting with chat. I like talking to you guys. I like, lounge around with the boys is basically all we do while I'm playing games. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, come stop by, come say hi. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. And until the next video, Godspeed.